Click that like and subscribe button and go sign up on superchargedstocks.com and let's keep you notified. Good morning, everyone. It's Andrew with Supercharged Stocks. I'm joined by Simon Dyakowski, who's with Aztec Minerals. He's the CEO over there. We've had a bunch of news the last couple of weeks, basically 2 weeks. We've got two projects, one in Sonora, Mexico, one in Arizona. And I think the results were basically out of Arizona. Let us know what these results are kind of telling you, what that data is showing, and where that's leading us.
Yeah, sounds good. So yeah, we do have two projects. Over the past summer, we have focused on drilling at Tombstone, Arizona. It's the famous silver district down there. Big past production from bonanza grade silver veins back at the turn of the last century. More recently in the 80s, operated as a small open pit. So we've gone back in there, and over the last 2 years, we've put in about 45 RC drill holes, and 23 of those have been drilled this year. So to date, we've reported results from the first 18, 5 to go. And as you pointed out, over the last couple of weeks, we've put out some pretty sizable bulk tonnage intersections. So it's been, a very successful drill program for us this year, exceeded our expectations. And I'll just read a couple highlights. So on September 14th, we announced an intersection of 64 meters of 1.73 grams per ton gold and 56.2 grams per ton silver. So over 2.5 grams gold equivalent over a wide width. And that was in hole 17. So an exceptional result. Just a week before that, we pulled in hole 13, 70 meters of 1.8 grams per ton gold and nearly 37 grams silver, or 2.3 grams gold equivalent. And that was again cutting these two structures, shallow oxide gold silver. And again, earlier in the summer, we had like a 96-meter intersection of nearly 2.2 grams gold equivalent. So we've been firing on all cylinders on this drill program on the first 18 holes at least, and we should have another few holes out over the next couple of weeks, and a summary of what we did over the summer. But the key takeaway from this is, on a project that does have multiple targets, our initial target is this gold silver oxide cap, shallow within 100 meters of surface. And although the main structure strikes almost a kilometer, about 900 meters long, we've now focused in on the north central portion of the deposit. It strikes about 550 meters long, north-south, 150 meters wide, and with a maximum depth to 175. Still open in all directions, east-west, and at depth. So for a few drill holes, it's been amazing for us.
Yeah, and just so for someone who's a bit more general, they'll see, like, say, way up in the Golden Triangle, they'll see someone with 5 grams per ton gram equivalent on the side of a mountain up somewhere, or they'll see somewhere. We got some good intersections in Ontario near Kirkland Lake, and it's like 1.2 kilometers down. Walk us through, because we're used to talking about it's shallow. Like, listen, it's shallow. It's right here. Why these numbers don't have to be that, like even a 10 or whatever, is that this gold equivalent and the size, and you're kind of mapping out the entire size and structure of this. Why this one is quite economical, and it's starting to take shape, that it's very well positioned.
Yeah, so these shallow oxide gold silver deposits are attractive because they can be open pit heap leach. So, first of all, it's typically a very low capex. There's not really a lot of cost involved in blasting a shallow deposit and piling it on a leach pad and leaching the gold and silver out and running it through a simple circuit. So that's number one. And just to give a comparison, the typical heap leach in the southwestern US or in Sonora, Mexico would run about like 0.4 to 0.6 grams gold on average. That's kind of the cutoff you need to make money, especially considering we're at $1,800 gold, 1,750 to 1,800. It's those half gram oxide deposits look very attractive. Now we're excited because we're hitting higher grade oxide gold, if you consider it on that scale. So, we're looking at intersections that are 3, 4, 5 times that average grade that some other economic mines are processing. So yeah, it's a bit of an apples to oranges when you're comparing it to deep underground grades that would have, different cost structures around them. So yeah, this part of the world, you want heap leach gold, and we're hitting exactly what we want to see. And to be honest, it was it was a small open pit in the 80s, but they mined a few million tons of material out of there. So it's not a big mine, or it was not a huge mine by today's standards, but it was significant, right? It wasn't just a mom and pop at it somewhere in Mexico, right?
You can get this to, in theory, you can get this to production fairly quickly. It's not an onerous task. And we mentioned Tombstone, so just kind of put things in perspective. Very cool city, town. You're close to infrastructure, so there's lots of infrastructure there. You're very close to town, like you're literally you're not in town, but you're pretty close.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's a really good point. So in terms of some intangibles for building a mine, water. We have our own water wells on site. It's private land. It was an operating mine, 25 years ago. We have power right there, paved roads to the northern entrance, and as well, I'd say we have a fairly mining friendly climate in that particular county in Arizona. So, Tombstone is a mining town. A lot of their economy is derived from mining tourism, and generally the local population there is, I would say they're supportive of mining, and they certainly were in the 1980s and early 90s, and there's a lot of generational families there that have participated in the industry. So, a lot of the risks that you might find in comparable projects, we simply don't have. So, it's a fantastic setup there for us.
Good. So that's good success. Start building out. What's the next step here? What's the play? What are we looking at in this short term, and what we should be keeping our eyes open on?
Yeah. So the next steps for us will be to get the last 5 holes out. So holes 19 through to 23 are still in the lab, and we expect to have them out sometime, hopefully, by early October. So in the next 2 or 3 weeks, and those will, provide a full picture of the 45 drill holes that we put in over the last 2 years. We'll get those loaded into our geological model, and included in those drill holes, we've actually twinned 3 holes from a previous operator in the early 90s. So if those historic results are verified, we'll have a much larger data set. So we'll have a really good indication of that, as I mentioned, 550 meter long area of the contention zone. But I will mention that it is open at depth, right? So because we were drilling RC, we only focused on the top 100 meters, not because the mineralization runs out, but simply because the drilling method is more amenable to shallow drilling. So we'll reinterpret the model, and then we will go in with a diamond drill as a follow-up drill program, and that'll allow us to test deeper in this oxide gold zone down to targets that are more like 150 to 200 meters deep in the contention zone. And then we're also going to drill test some much deeper targets between 500 to 750 meters deep below the pit. And those are sulfide targets, so not oxide targets, but sulfide targets. And there we have some historic deep drilling results at the north end of the pit that suggest there might be Taylor Hermosa style CRD mineralization. So just to remind everybody, back in 2018, the biggest mining deal of the year was South 32 coming and buying out Arizona Mining for $1.8 billion. And that was on the back of a fairly recent discovery that they had made just in 2015. And that's about 40 miles to the south west of us. And it's in the nearest past, or underneath the nearest past producing silver district, which is known as Hermosa. That's where Arizona Mining went and drilled deep below the near surface silver deposit and found what's now one of the largest lead zinc deposits in the world. I think it's over 100 million tons, something like 10% zinc equivalent. So that's just another aspect of the project that we haven't yet had an opportunity to tap into because we were focusing on the shallow gold silver. So now we're going to be integrating both of those targets with deeper core drilling. So that's something investors we'll have to look forward to over the next few months, adding a new dimension of the project.
Excellent. Well, we're going to keep a close eye on you and see what's developing. And of course, with these holes, we know, like, because we talked to a lot of different companies, that it's tough to know for sure when results will come in because of, the shortage in workforce, so many drill programs out there going on. But we'll be patient and we'll keep an eye, because this is a developing story. And it's one that people should be aware of, because it's a unique opportunity that's building and growing as your model gets further proven up.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a lot left to uncover at Tombstone. Again, open in all directions, unique, deeper targets, and we've really just begun on this, and we've been firing on all cylinders. So look forward to moving ahead on it, and then we also look forward to a fairly sizable drill program down in Mexico as well. So that's something that investors can look forward to in this fall in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, maybe just give us a quick, just recap, like a quick kind of highlight or peek into what to look for down there, because we've talked mainly about this Tombstone property, but this is also, this Sonora opportunity is also happening.
Yeah, it is happening, and it's a project that we had worked on when we went public in 2017, and we drilled a gold discovery there. A large scale gold discovery, same concept as Tombstone in terms of oxide gold. So we completed 14 drill holes at one of the 11 porphyry gold copper targets that we have. There's 11. There's bona fide targets. We focused in on one of them, California, and we hit very wide widths of oxide gold. A highlight hole there was 160 meters at 0.77 grams gold, oxide gold from surface, with some higher grade sections in there. So it's a big area. It's about 800 meters long and a couple hundred meters wide. So that was a discovery made 4 years ago. It's now the property is now in a joint venture with Kootenay Silver. So after we drilled the initial discovery, did some initial network on it, we then negotiated our joint venture with Kootenay. We've now formed that. So this fall is really our first opportunity to go and follow up on that drill program. So subject to financing in the fourth quarter, we have a 5,000 meter drill program planned there at Cervantes. Yeah, so that's going to be the first follow up, and it'll have multiple components, some deeper drilling, but also just stepping off that initial pattern and showing some size and scale to that California zone, as well as testing targets to the northwest and to the southwest as well. So that'll be big, and that I think investors will have good opportunity to get familiar with that asset as well as we start re-engaging on it.
Yeah, and that's good, because you'll have the rolling results coming in, so there's news flow, and then starting into this next property as well will keep people engaged as well. So it's not a matter of, all right, we have to wait for the next drill season at Tombstone. It's like, no, we've got this other project. We're rolling in with more news. There's more developments.
Exactly. Yeah. And we intend to become kind of a 2-project company over the next few months. So it won't at least seem like we're picking one or the other. We intend to have a really good look at both.
Excellent. Well, thanks so much, Simon, for catching back up with us. Sounds like you've got your hands full, but that's excellent. There's lots going on, and we wish you lots of success. And as soon as you have news, we'll be reaching out to find out what's happening.
Okay. Sounds great, Andrew. Thanks for the time.
No problem. Take care.
Thank you.